Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, welcome back, folks, to another small question. This question is to do with loci, and it said Mary is going to put a bird bath in her garden. The diagram shows a plan of Mary's garden. It's A, B, C, and D. Okay, there's a wall along A, B. There are hedges along the other three sides of the garden. Mary wants to put her bird bath. Now, there's one small correction in this particular question, which I will do now. Okay, we have three conditions here: number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, that is the small correction that we have to do in that particular question. Okay, that's a misprint in the paper. Right. Okay, today we're going to be using a compass. Yes. Now, it says that Mary is going to put a bird bath in her garden. So this is her garden, and it tells you here there's a wall along AB. So this is a wall. There are hedges along the other three sides of the garden. So these are the hedges. Okay. Now, it said we have now three loci questions combined into this examination question. It says Mary wants to put a bird bath at least 2 meters away from the wall AB, and at least 2 meters away from the wall AB doesn't mean that you do something more than 2 meters or 3 meters. It means we need to find out where the 2 meters is from the wall AB. So the wall AB is a straight line. So first of all, let's get 2 centimeters up. Okay, here's 2 centimeters. So we need to get to 2 centimeters, is correct. So that's 2 centimeters. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do a small arc from here of 2 centimeters. And I'm going to do another small arc from here using the same settings. Okay, now the intention of that is that when we now join the apex of those arcs together, we should get a line that is 2 meters away. So we're joining the furthest tip away to the furthest tip away, so that should give us 2 meters in terms of the diagram. Okay, you can see that clearly. Okay, so now the question says at least 2 meters away from the wall, which means 2 meters or more. So we have a solid line here, and we are looking for the region which is on this line or on the above, more than that. Next is more than 3 meters away from the tree at T. More than 3 meters. So we're on the second condition now. More than 3 meters away. That does not mean that you measure 4 centimeters or 5, because it says more than 3. More than 3 meters, we still need to find out exactly where the 3 meters is. Remember, 3 meters on this diagram is worth 3 centimeters because we have our scale over here. So what we need to do now, we need to measure 3 centimeters, which is from here to here, with our compass. Okay, and we need to do from the tree X. Okay, let's do that a bit more darker. Okay, just give me one moment. Okay, that's good. Now, it says here it's got to be more than 3 meters from this tree. Now, this loci is of 3 meters. So when it says more than 3 meters, what that means is that we need to make this loci into a dotted loci, which indicates that this particular 3 meter distance is not part of the solution. So it's everything which is beyond the loci. So from the tree T, from this tree over here, we have a 3 meter loci which is 3 centimeters. We've made it dotted because the question says more than 3 meters. So that 3 meter line is not part of our solution, it's everything which is outside of it. That's why it becomes dotted. So now that is the end of our second condition. So we've satisfied first condition, second condition. So we now know that it's going to be in this region over here so far. It's going to be below this and outside this. Then you go down closer to the hedge along DC. So DC is this hedge over here. Then to the hedge along DB, which is this one here. So what that means here, they want us to find, first of all, when it says close to the hedge along DC then to the hedge along DB, what we have here is basically two walls joining, creating this angle here. We need to work out the angle bisector. So we need to find out the midpoints between these two walls, and then we can say yes, this side is more closer to DC than it is to DB. So let's do the angle splitter now. In order to do the angle splitter, what we need to do, we need to first of all get the our compass and do a, not too small, a nice size arc from the corner. So we have to now split this, what looks like a 90 degrees angle, into half exactly using geometry. So here's the little arc that I've drawn. So I've got these 2 points here. So now once I get these 2 points which are equal distance from D, we need to now find out the midpoint of these 2 points to work out the middle of the angle. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put our compass more than halfway between the 2 points. As you can see, this distance here is small and this distance is big, and we do ourselves a nice arc. Okay. Okay, now this particular one is beginning to move around. Give me one moment. Let's switch back to the traditional. Right. Okay, I think everything's having a do. Stop it. So once we have done the setting from the first point, we swap over to the second point, and we do the arc again. We find out where these 2 arcs cross, and we should get now a line that goes straight to the middle. And it goes closer to the hedge, so we need to, in that case, make the line dotted. Okay. So what we've done here, we've done our original arc from this point that gave us 2 equidistant points from the corner. We then split these 2 points. We found the equidistance to these 2 points, which was using the more than halfway technique. And then we join those 2 lines up. This line here now is the line which is equidistant from this hedge and that hedge, or the angle bisector. And it goes, it's going to be closer to the hedge along DC than to the hedge DB. So what that means is going to be on this side of the line. Again, the emphasis why this is dotted, because it says closer to the hedge. So it's actually not on the line. Okay. So now what we look at now, we look at all the different arrows. We got arrows which are outside this circle here. We got arrows which are below this line which meet here, and we also those arrows which are below this which also meet in the same section. So what we need to do now is shade in the right section. So this region here satisfies all three conditions. So it's going to be closer to this hedge than to that hedge, which is over here. It's going to be more than 3 meters away, which is going to be over here. And it's got to be below this line, which is more than 2 meters away from the back of the wall. So it satisfies all those conditions. Okay, thank you very much for joining us on this question. This is a question from the EdXL paper. Okay, thank you very much for joining us. Please join us back for another question.